Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at game number 2 between MC and the StC. This time we're on the map Shakur's Plateau. We've got the StC spawning as our blue Terran player here in the upper right-hand spawn position of Shakur's Plateau, and his opponent MC and the winner of the last game spawning in the upper left-hand spawn position. And MC ends up winning last game. You know, it was a pretty interesting back and forth that we saw between these two players, and it was relatively even for a good chunk of the game. However, MC really just with some great engagements. I would say the biggest thing last game, and feel free to correct me if you think I am wrong or if I'm not touching on something that was larger, but I really do feel like last game the biggest thing was really just the engagements and how MC, with very strong unit control, which he certainly does have, was able to really, with again great micro, able to just beat out the StC in certain engagements. He got himself in good positions, was able to land some very clutch storms, get some very nice force fields off. Also, we saw a few feedbacks in one of those big engagements last game, which allowed him to take out a few of those medevacs, which obviously really drastically cuts back on the healing power of the StC and subsequently cuts back on the longevity of his bio. But great game nevertheless. It was, again, fairly even for a majority of the time, and those are really the most exciting games to watch. It's really not that great watching a game that's completely lopsided, and last game was pretty balanced for a good chunk of that game, so very, very exciting indeed. And here we are at game number 2. Looks like we will not be seeing the same style of build from the StC early on. He will in fact be coming out with a 1 Rax expand. You can see finishing that wall off just barely by building that SCV for building that supply depot for a moment with his SCV, and then pulling off and going straight back to that Rax. Now we're going to have another SCV come down to try to finish through this and trying to do a little bit of harass. MC unfortunately not able to do so any longer, as the SCV does finish off that Rax, and now he's going to be going to harass this SCV. Pulling back right now, trying to trick the probe, gets him trapped in the corner, and the SCV, again, just trying to buy some time to allow this one to finish, and he does. Finishes off the supply depot. Head straight back to mining. First Marine is out. This SCV also going to pull back. Why did he trap himself there? That's hilarious and very, very unnecessary. MC saying a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know what that is, though. Matchday.cc, okay, I get that much, but what about all this stuff? Please, someone tell me. Please, someone tell me. MC hiding his probe right now, preparing for secondary scouting with that. We do have a chrono-boosted Zealot and Stalker coming on through. Just 1 gas as well. Let's see if MC is choosing to be more aggressive this game. I think he may be doing that very thing. That first Zealot heading across the map again. This is a 1 Rax expand here from the StC. Following up with 2 more Racks. Sometimes you'll see a follow-up of double gas into factory and just kind of work his way up there, but we are instead going to be seeing a very Marine heavy early game here. Having a bunker out front is going to help him out quite a bit. The StC now moving out with his scouting worker, checking lower left, realizing MC is not there. He'll be heading up to upper left in just a moment. Probe scout moving forward, doesn't scout the building expansion. That's actually just barely out of the vision there of MC. We do have this 1 lone Zealot over here, but a Stalker is coming to join the fun. And with that Stalker, should be able to do a bit of damage without a bunker here. The Marines are going to have a hard time of preventing that Stalker from doing damage to these supply depots. Really just lack the range to be that effective, and these Marines are going to get a little bit trapped here. Oh, doesn't end up taking out the Marines, realizing that they may have pulled forward at any moment as the StC dropped down his supply depots, allowing those Marines to pull forward and try to quickly drop that Stalker. He decides to pull back with his Stalker. Now we get a second Stalker coming out, and oh boy, getting a little bit caught out of position right there. Oh no, losing 3 Marines so far. Number 4 about to get dropped, and he doesn't have the firepower anymore to take these Stalkers out, and he is taking heavy damage. This is some very nice early aggression here from MC, doing a lot of damage because he's got that range and speed advantage. He's just able to out micro and pick off those Marines one at a time. That was very impressive there from MC. You can see he is ahead right now. SCV scout trying to move into the main. That gets denied as the sentry is able to drop the force field, corner the SCV, and take him out in just 1 moment. There it is. Takes out the SCV. That was very impressive though by MC. Just you know, 1 Zealot and 2 Stalkers, and with a bit of micro. It was really also kind of a mistake there by the StC. He got himself in a very bad position. He obviously didn't know that secondary Stalker was coming up, and maybe that would have made him decide to stay in his base, but he didn't want the Zealot and the Stalker down here any longer. So he decided to push out and try to force them out, but MC just kind of held his ground and waited for that reinforcement, and that was great. That was fantastic. Now we do have 2 Stalkers, very low health, but they do have their shields back up and running. A bunch of sentries and a couple Zealots coming across the map. Some proxy pylons going to get placed down here, allowing him to reinforce this aggression. Marauder moving across the map without concussive shell, not able to take out those Stalkers, and here come those reinforcements now. This could be a problem here for the StC, as MC is going to continue to be aggressive, working off of 3 warp gates. Guardian Shield gets placed down, a couple of force fields trying to trap that bio, allow those Zealots to move on up and do a bit of damage. Again, without concussive shell, this is a problem. He is trying to build a bunker right now, but is this going to be in time? Coming down with a few SCVs to assist, trying to make sure he pulls just enough to be able to defend himself and not lose too many workers. Will be forced to cancel this bunker. This is a huge problem. Doesn't even get the cancel, ends up losing those resources as well. Trying to rebuild right now. Oh, the MC. Very, very impressive early game here from the MC, and kudos to the StC for defending there. If he can get this bunker up, he should be okay, but I don't know if MC is going to provide him that opportunity, as he is going to continue to push here. Sentry, Stalkers, and one Zealot. The Zealot does get dropped. It is just Sentries and Stalkers right now. SCV's trying to move down to do a bit of damage. Nice force fields. Look at that. All of those Marines in the back, out of range, not able to do any damage during this engagement, and that allows MC to take off the units that he isn't within range with. However, the StC now finishing up that bunker is going to be able to do a lot more damage than he would be able to otherwise. Bio trying to allow the units in the bunker to take a brunt of the attack here, but MC is still alive and kicking. He is going to try to walk straight up into the main, and he gets it. Let's see if we're going to see any more reinforcements. Yes, we are. A few more Stalkers prepared to push here. Forced to come down again with some more workers, and he's already lost enough. 19 workers so far. MC has killed this game. Getting a full surround on the sentry, able to take it out, but he's got more workers that he's going to be losing. Marines out, the Zealots out front, not able to push anymore. The MC also getting a 3rd base here as he drops this Nexus over here. Oh my gosh. So not only is MC ahead right now, in terms of, he hasn't lost as many resources, he's killed a ton of workers, but he's also got another expansion coming out. Let's take a look at the army size, they're about even as well. MC in a very, very dominant position this game. Bunch more gateways coming through. No higher tech than this gateway tech yet. He's got the Twilight Council coming up, so once that is in play, that will change. But he doesn't have any higher tech because of the fact that he's devoting resources and trying to get enough workers to be able to saturate this 3rd once it is up and running. But you know what? This is going to be very, very hard here for the StC. He does have to do some significant damage to get himself back in this game. We'll be continuing to produce units here. He's got some medevacs on the way. First things first, take out these pylons. And let's see if he can do some counter-aggression. Now, he really should be focusing on trying to drop this 3rd. If he can do that, the fact that MC didn't go straight for the attack and got this 3rd instead means that losing that would be a pretty significant loss for him. So that should be something that the StC is focused on. The only problem right now is that he doesn't know about this expansion yet. So maybe pull off with 1 unit, trying to scout for that. I assume that he is going to scout. There's really no reason not to scout for that 3rd. It's really kind of a pretty intuitive thing at this point. Let's try to find a weakness here of my opponent. I am behind. The StC knows he's behind. And if he can try to find and exploit that weakness, which is going to be this expansion, then he can get himself back in play. At the same time, though, you can see right now MC realizing this is a weak point for him. He's trying to defend that, and if he puts all of his units down here and the StC just walks into the natural, well, that's certainly a good thing for him as well. Double Forge getting dropped. Again, going to be churning out those 1-1 upgrades as soon as those things do finish. Charge upgrade almost finished. Won't be finished for this engagement, though. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, the StC could have done a bit of damage there without that charge upgrade finished. Really could have hurt MC quite a bit there. He really could have weakened up those forces, stimming up and just cutting back. He's got the concussive shells. Yeah. Well, instead, he will be dropping now in the main as he lifts up his forces. Factory Scout will be spotting when MC does move here with his units. Again, MC is so devoted to protecting this 3rd that his main is going to be pretty vulnerable right now. 3 medevacs filled with units now moving up into the main, and they do have that stim pack. All of these forces are down here, so here it goes, stimming up. Go straight for that pylon, unpowers 2 of those warp gates. Gonna be trying to land the factory right now, which will allow, oh no, not gonna end up doing that as the Zealots do manage to stream on up. They are charged Zealots, needs a stim, there you go. Stims up, trying to work his way through. Units on the low ground will be trying to assist these corner units over here. The StC decide not to lift off, instead just trying to hold his ground here. Units on the low ground for MC, taking some pop shots. And it looks like MC is going to be able to defend here. At the same time, we got a Zealot counterattack moving over here. 24 workers killed so far this game here for MC. That is tremendous. Still consistent aggression here coming out from the StC. He is going to keep this up, but it doesn't look too good. It looks like MC with a few more warp pins is going to be able to quite easily defend those Zealots, trying to make their way into the main. Couple down here doing a bit of damage as well. Ooh, Bio takes care of the rest of those Zealots. We got a couple Zealots up here coming out with those upgrades. Might be able to drop this. Looks like he is going to be able to do so. Yes, he is. Drops the Forge before it finishes the armor upgrade. No more counter aggression coming out here from MC. However, MC is still able to defend, and this is very important to keep in mind as well. Take a look at the resources lost. MC is behind right now, but look at this. This still up and running is a big problem. Does the StC even know about it? He still does not know about that expansion. That hurts my head just thinking about it. The fact that he does not know that that expansion is there is a very, very big problem, because that huge amount of extra income that MC has is going to be able to allow him to continue to reinforce, continue to afford these upgrades. I mean, look at all the resources MC has right now. He's got no problem just consistently warping in more and more stuff. He's even dropping 4 additional gateways. Takes out all the forces there. The StC, realizing his back was against the wall, calls the GG. And at the same time that he dropped the scan. So I think this is the biggest thing here. StC not only realizing that his push failed, but at that very moment with the scan, realizing that this Nexus was here and fully saturated, and he did nothing about it. He just said, yep, I am way too far behind. See you later. All right, my friends, that is going to do it here in the series between MC and the StC. Hopefully you enjoyed these games. MC ends up winning 2-0. The StC, this game, it was another one of those things where, you know, it was a pretty decent back and forth. MC had a very strong early game, but the biggest problem here was that MC did not scout the third of MC. The StC did not scout the third of MC, and not realizing that huge economic advantage that MC had really made him lose the game. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. Thanks again. Keep watching and keep owning.